What's good, y'all? Welcome back, and welcome back to yet another video. I got up close. All right, y'all. So this is gonna be a video and not a short. I've been addicted to shorts lately, so let me kind of reel it back in with my roots, and that's just a full-on video. Will I get a lot of views from this? Probably, possibly, maybe not. I do plan on making a lot more long-form content in the future because I have a lot more thoughts than just 1 minute can take. So, right. Denny Hamlin versus Ty Gibbs is a situation that is actually very interesting to me personally, because I'm not a Joe Gibbs racing fan. I've always been kind of clear on that. I'm not a fan of that team necessarily. I kind of feel like that team is just petty and annoying. So it just kind of soured my taste. And some of the and a lot of the drivers that they've had, I've hated. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really disliked Kyle Busch for a long time. Dislike Denny Hamlin for a long time. Dislike Tony Stewart. It's like they seem to get drivers that, and it's not that they get drivers that I just end up not really caring for them. I'm gonna be honest with you, and that team specifically seems to be the team that houses those drivers. And Ty Gibbs, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a fan of him. I'm a bit better with not liking drivers now. Like, I'm more of like a neutral guy when it comes to drivers nowadays. I don't really actively hate any drivers, and drivers that I used to hate, I end up really liking, like Tony Stewart. And Carl, I didn't like Carl Edwards for a little bit. I'll be honest with you, but I ended up really liking Carl Edwards later on in his career. Same thing with, I don't know why I didn't like Ray Biffle for a little bit either, but I liked him later on. But yeah, that I'm neither here nor there. But yeah, so let's get into it. So Ty Gibbs, unfortunately, he still doesn't want to race this race yet, which is surprising. He's been close though. But basically, what happened at New Hampshire this past weekend was that Ty Gibbs was racing his teammates a bit harder than usual. Yeah, that's interesting. So I kind of feel like that Ty Gibbs, he was racing his teammates a bit too hard. I will say that. You know, that's apparently obvious, right? He was racing his teammates a bit too hard, and they're running for a championship, and he's not. Okay, so I think it's common sense to well, maybe not common sense, right? But maybe like common decency, I will say, to kind of let your teammates go if they are faster than you, especially if they're running for a championship. I think that's common decency, right? But he's not obligated to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he wants to go 100, bro, like NASCAR prides itself on going 100%, right? Going all out, you know, doing the best that you can to keep the position that you have and that you have in that moment. You feel me? You know, if they gotta pass you, then they need to try their best to pass you in the best way that they can possible, right? He's not obligated to just let you go, you know what I'm saying? But I do think it is common decency to let your teammates go past while they're faster than you and they're running for a championship. That's it. Back to Denny Hamlin. I think Denny Hamlin, you know what I'm saying, he has every right to be frustrated, of course, but to dump him is insane, bro. I'm not gonna lie, to dump your own teammate is absolutely insane. I will say that I think dumping your teammate is definitely too far. You know, you can nudge him out the way. You know, you can move him out the way, absolutely. But what we're not gonna do is sit here and just act like dumping your teammate is all right. You feel me? That definitely wasn't the right thing to do. He said it wasn't intentional, but I do believe it's intentional. I do believe it was intentional. You know what I'm saying? I can understand his frustration, but let's keep it a bug, right? I kind of feel like that. Yeah, Denny Hamlin, bro. Yeah, he shouldn't have dumped Ty. He really shouldn't have. Like, that's obvious as I don't know what. He shouldn't have dumped Ty Gibbs, but he did. So it is what it is. Joe Gibbs actually has said that that I guess he would prefer if the drivers handled it themselves. I believe that that's probably not the best way to go about it, considering that you might have wrecked race cars in the process, and you have one of your drivers running for a championship, their first one at that. So I think that it's best for Joe Gibbs to probably nip it in the bud right now. And whatever problems that Denny Hamlin was talking about over the radio, Denny Hamlin was basically stating that like people don't talk to Ty about his problems and about his issues. It really kind of showcases that maybe Ty has a lot of leeway at Joe Gibbs Racing. Like, nobody's talked to him about his racing etiquette, maybe? I don't know what other problems that he could be talking about. You know what I'm saying? And Ty Gibbs, what we all know, is the grandson of the owner, Joe Gibbs. So I guess Denny is insinuating that they're letting him get away with a lot of stuff. Which is that true? I firmly believe yes. Denny Hamlin's probably telling the truth with that. Ty Gibbs is probably getting away with a lot of BS. You know what I'm saying? I probably will say that, but this doesn't negate the fact that Denny Hamlin was also wrong in this situation. He definitely was wrong. He shouldn't have dumped Ty. I feel like both of these drivers are wrong in certain ways. Both of these drivers could have handled things differently, right? Ty Gibbs, bro, if your teammates are faster than you, what if anybody's really faster than you? You feel me? And you're obviously slowing them down. Common decency could potentially, common decency is even more important when these drivers are your teammates. These drivers are your teammates and running for championships. So yeah, for team's sake, try to let them go. But guess what? I know a lot of people, they don't like team orders. They don't like that. So, me personally, what I would say is, if I was Ty Gibbs, I'd be like, oh, teammates are going up behind you. Try to, if they're obviously faster than you, let them go. But Denny Hamlin, on the other hand, shouldn't have just wrecked Ty. Like, come on now. Like, your owner has to now pay for those damages. Your owner has to pay for those damages now. And Denny Hamlin, you're a team owner now as well. I'm pretty sure you know how expensive it is to probably fix these cars. So I think that, yeah. And I don't think he would disagree with that. If he watches this video, I don't think he'll disagree with that. So my take on moving forward is these two need to have a conversation. They probably already did. It's Wednesday. They probably already did have their conversation on Monday. Is it productive? I don't know. Was it productive? I have no idea. Denny Hamlin is literally almost 20 years older than Ty, so I don't know. I don't know how much of a conversation that probably was. And I don't think Ty, oh my goodness, I don't think Ty needs to do anything to Denny Hamlin. Sure, he needs to get his lick back, his payback, but let's be real here. Denny Hamlin's running for a championship for his first one. And Denny Hamlin doesn't have that many years left on his contract, so we're gonna have to wait and see. Denny Hamlin doesn't need to be in stuff like this. Absolutely not. This is a very crucial time for him. And getting into altercations, especially with his own teammate on the track, I don't know about that one. That's not really the smartest thing to do, but it is what it is. So I hope you guys liked this video and understood my take. Let's move on to what is next week. What is next week? What is it coming up? Dang, I don't even know what's coming up. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't even know what's coming up right now. But dang, I feel like a fake fan, bro. I feel like I'm a fake fan. Damn, man, what is coming up? It's not Talladega. It's not the Roval. Bro, I'm gonna keep it a buck, y'all. I forgot what track was coming up. Man. All right, y'all. Hope y'all really enjoyed it. So yeah, so let's see if this beef will boil over into the next race. So, yeah. No, Kansas is coming up. Kansas is coming up. Kansas has been home for a payback before. Kansas has been home for it. But let's keep it a buck. Like, Ty Gibbs getting payback on Denny Hamlin at Kansas of all tracks, that's going to be bizarre. These cars do hit hard. So, and Kansas is a fast track. So, I don't think, you shouldn't pay nobody back at Kansas unless, you're not going to hurt the guy, Woo. All right, well, hope y'all really enjoyed it.